What happens when people stop following society's rules? Imagine a world with no lines, no unspoken agreements, just pure, unfiltered human action. What would that look like? Chaos? Freedom? Or something else entirely? We're taught from a young age to color inside the lines, to wait our turn, to follow the script. But what about those who don't? Those who step outside the accepted norms, who challenge the very definition of normal. Today, we're peeling back the layers of our society to explore the fascinating, sometimes dark, and often inspiring world of deviance. This isn't just about breaking laws. It's about breaking expectations. What pushes someone to defy the crowd? And what do their actions reveal about the rest of us? Stay with me as we journey into the shadows and the spotlights of human behavior. Deviance. The word itself sounds a bit sinister, doesn't it? But it's a much broader concept than you might think. In sociology, deviance is simply any behavior that violates social norms, from the smallest etiquette slip-up to the most serious crime. It's not inherently good or bad, it's just different. Think about it. Every culture, every group, has its own set of written and unwritten rules. What's considered polite in one place might be offensive in another. What's celebrated today might have been condemned a century ago. Deviance is a moving target, constantly being redefined by the society that observes it. There are two main sides to this coin. On one hand, you have negative deviance, which involves behavior that falls short of society's expectations. On the other, there's positive deviance, where behavior exceeds expectations in a way that is also, surprisingly, outside the norm. Let's explore both sides of this intriguing spectrum. First, let's look at the side of deviance that often makes headlines and fuels our anxieties: negative deviance. This is when people fail to meet the accepted standards of behavior. It's the graffiti that appears overnight on a clean wall, a sudden act of vandalism that shatters a community's sense of peace. Think about the phenomenon of porch pirates, a modern form of theft that violates not just the law, but the sanctity of our own homes. These acts aren't just random. They often stem from a sense of frustration, alienation, or a rejection of societal values. Or consider large-scale corporate fraud, where individuals in positions of power manipulate systems for personal gain, betraying the trust of thousands. These actions create a ripple effect of harm and mistrust. They represent a tear in the social fabric, a conscious decision to operate outside the agreed-upon rules of cooperation and respect. Each act, from petty vandalism to major financial crime, forces us to question the stability of our social order and the integrity of the bonds that hold us together. But deviance isn't always destructive. In fact, some of the most profound and positive changes in history began as acts of defiance. This is positive deviance, behavior that goes above and beyond the norm in an admirable way. Consider the lone individual who rushes into a dangerous situation to help a stranger, while everyone else stands by. They are deviating from the norm of inaction, from the bystander effect. Think of historical figures like Rosa Parks, whose simple act of sitting down was a profound act of deviance against the unjust norms of her time. Her bravery wasn't the norm, it was exceptional. Or look at the innovators and artists who see the world differently. People like Steve Jobs, who defied the conventions of the tech industry to create something radically new. Society often resists these visionaries at first, calling them strange or unrealistic. Their ideas are deviant because they challenge our comfortable reality. But these are the people who push humanity forward. They remind us that sometimes, the most heroic and revolutionary thing you can do is refuse to accept the world as it is. So, what do people on the street think about all this? We went out and asked them. Rules are there for a reason, right? Without them, it would be complete chaos. I mean, you have to have some kind of order, or society just falls apart. Little things, okay, but big things? No way. I think it depends. Some rules are outdated and need to be challenged. If no one ever questioned authority, we'd still be stuck in the dark ages. progress literally depends on people being brave enough to be different, to be deviant, as you say. Honestly, I think most people are just trying to get by. When you see someone acting out, maybe we should ask what's going on in their life that's pushing them to that point. You know? It's not always black and white. As a teacher, I see it every day. There are kids who act out, and that's negative deviance. But there are also kids who show incredible kindness when no one's watching, who stand up for a bullied classmate. That's also not the norm. But it's the kind of deviance we need more of. It gives me hope. These varied opinions show just how complex our relationship with rules truly is. So, what does this all tell us? Deviance, in all its forms, acts as a mirror for society. The things we label as deviant reveal our deepest values, our fears, and our aspirations. When we punish certain behaviors, we are reinforcing our collective moral boundaries. But when we celebrate others, we are signaling a shift in those very boundaries. Think about how attitudes towards things like tattoos, remote work, or different family structures have changed over time. What was once considered deviant is now mainstream. This shows that society is not static. It's a living, breathing entity that grows and evolves. The tension between conformity and deviance is the engine of that change. It highlights the cracks in our social structure and, at the same time, provides the vision for how to repair them and build something better. In the end, deviance is everywhere. It's in the person who cuts in line and the person who pays for a stranger's coffee. It's in the act of vandalism and the act of protest. It is the shadow, and it is the light. To simply condemn all deviance is to ignore its power to inspire and to innovate. To celebrate all of it is to ignore its potential for harm. The real task is to understand it. By examining those who step outside the lines, we learn more about the lines themselves, and more importantly, we learn about who we are as a society. Deviance forces us to ask the hard questions. Which rules are worth keeping? Which are worth breaking? And who gets to decide? The answers define our shared journey.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम।
क्या हाल है भैया?
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह ठीक ठाक।
आपका नाम?
मेरा नाम सैयद अमान अली।
अच्छा भैया, आपका एक सोशियोलॉजी के प्रोजेक्ट के हवाले से एक शॉर्ट इंटरव्यू लेना है।
अच्छा।
तो पूछना ये है कि आपका डेवियंस के बारे में क्या ख्याल है?
बेसिकली डेवियंस तो इनहिराफ को कहते हैं और डेवियंस ऐसी चीज़ है जिसे समाज में, जिसे माशरे में आमतौर पर जब कल्चरल वैल्यू के खिलाफ कोई जाता है तो उसे गलत समझा जाता है, तो ऐसे डेवियंस कहते हैं, जो मेरे नुक्ते नज़र से।
सही, तो आप पॉजिटिव या नेगेटिव डेवियंस की कोई एग्जांपल दे सकते हैं?
पॉजिटिव डेवियंस आप ऐसे कह सकते हैं कि मिसाल के तौर पे कोई लड़का है तो उसके वालिदैन उसकी पसंद की शादी ना कराएं, तो वो लड़का उन्हें फोर्स करे और मजबूरन वो फिर खुद अपनी पसंद की शादी करे, कोर्ट मैरिज कर ले, कुछ ऐसा, तो इसे आप पॉजिटिव डेवियंस इन अ सेंस कह सकते हैं। और नेगेटिव डेवियंस होती है कि बेजा मुखालफत और मनफी रवैया बच्चों का और वालिदैन की बात न मानना, बेएहतरामी करना या बड़ों की बेएहतरामी करना, ये नेगेटिव डेवियंस में आ जाती है।
तो आपके ख्याल में जो पॉजिटिव डेवियंस है, ये हमारे माशरे में पॉजिटिव चेंज कैसे ला सकते हैं?
देखिए, पॉजिटिव डेवियंस जैसे मैंने आपको अभी एग्जांपल दी है लड़के वाली के उसकी शादी वाली, तो वो ऐसे चेंज ला सकती है कि अगर तो ये पॉजिटिव डेवियंस इंक्रीज हो जाए तो मजीद लोगों के वालिदैन हैं वो देखेंगे और उससे ये सबक अखज़ करेंगे कि हमें अपने बच्चों से मशवरा करके उनकी शादियाँ करानी चाहिए। इसी तरह कोई भी पॉजिटिव डेवियंस है वो दूसरे लोगों को सोचने में मजबूर करती है कि पॉजिटिव डेवियंस जो है वो ना हो, इसलिए हम मुशावरत का अमल इख्तियार करें या ऐसा अमल इख्तियार करें जिसकी वजह से काम ना हो।
घर या स्कूल का माहौल जो है वो डेवियंस के ऊपर कैसे असरअंदाज होता है?
देखें, घर और स्कूल का माहौल ऐसे असरअंदाज होता है कि आप घर को देख लें कि वहाँ यंगर पीपल और एल्डर पीपल सारे जब इकट्ठे रह रहे हो, अगर एक्सटेंडेड फैमिली सिस्टम हो, मिसाल दे रहा हूँ, या फैमिलीज आती हैं, बड़े आते हैं, तो अगर यंगर पीपल जो छोटे लोग हैं वो अपने बड़ों को देखते हैं कि वो अपने बड़ों से डिवियंस कर रहे हैं, तो वो उनसे सबक ही लेते हैं और उन्हें देख के ऐसी ही हरकतें फिर मुस्तकबिल में करते हैं। स्कूल में भी किसी ओहदेदार को, किसी टीचर को डिवियंस करते हुए देखेंगे दोस्तों को देखेंगे तो वो उनसे वही उनकी जैसी कंपनी होगी तो वो वैसे बनेंगे, तो फिर डिवियंस ऑटोमेटिकली उनकी नेचर में आ जाएगी। तो ऐसे ये असरअंदाज करता है और ऐसे ये इफेक्ट करता है।
तो आपके ख्याल में जो हमारा मीडिया है वो आजकल पॉजिटिव डेविएंस को ज़्यादा प्रमोट कर रहा है या नेगेटिव डेविएंस की तरफ लोगों को लेके जा रहा है?
देखिए, इसके दो एस्पेक्ट्स हैं। अगर तो मीडिया का यूज आदमी की तरफ से या पर्सन की तरफ से पॉजिटिव वे में हो रहा है तो वो फिर उसका पॉजिटिव रोल होगा, लेकिन अगर नेगेटिव वे में हो रहा है तो वो नेगेटिव डिविएंस की तरफ जाहिर बात है लेके जाएगा, क्योंकि वो उसे कंपेल किया जा रहा होगा पोस्ट के जरिए या सोशल मीडिया कैंपेन्स के जरिए वो नेगेटिव डिविएंस की तरफ जाए तो वो उधर चला जाएगा। और पीछे जो आपको मैंने स्कूल और घर का कहा है, तो मैं इसमें एक चीज़ ऐड करना चाहता हूँ कि अगर घर में डिविएंस नहीं होगी, अदब और एहतराम होगा, तरबियत सिखाई जाएगी, सही माहौल होगा, तो बच्चा जो है वो डिविएंस से वो डिविएंस नहीं दिखाएगा, डिविएंस शो नहीं करेगा। और स्कूल में भी इसी तरह का माहौल होगा, अच्छे दोस्त होंगे, कंपनी अच्छी होगी, तो ऑटोमेटिकली डिविएंस डिक्रीज हो जाएगी और नहीं होगी।
ओके, चल, बहुत शुक्रिया आपका टाइम देने के लिए।
वेलकम, थैंक यू।
Thank you so much for joining me on this exploration. Until next time, stay curious.